Hey everyone, Soundwave 84 here, and with another Transformers Siege review. In this review, I'm taking a look at Apeface. And I've had this figure for a while, but like I said, I have been sick and just busy with the holidays and then sick, I put it that way. So I've sat on this guy, and I'm going to give you my review right here. I know I'm late to the party, but this is Voyager class Apeface. He is a triple changing Headmaster Decepticon. He goes from robot to ape to plane. And if you had any from Titan's Returns, you had a little version come out in Titan's Returns, which had his own other little Headmaster, which you can also swap with this guy. And all you got to do is come here and pop the head right off. Take this head and you just pop it right on in. And you can take a look and see how you like that head, which is a very, very nice head. I do like the head on him as well. It gives him, I think, a more sinister look than the one he comes with. But I think the one he comes with is a little more cartoon accurate. And also comes with the ape face on the back, which the Titan's Returns, they didn't plan a head for that. So the back of the head is just the legs of the robot. But the actual robots are also different on the inside. His looks totally different than what the one you get from here. I guess I should show that off to you as well. Boom. All right, put it back on. Oh, wrong way. Yeah, had to be. All right. So he comes with his rifle and a shield as well, and he looks really, really cool. I do like the look of him. I've seen a lot of people complain about this figure, and I'll get into those complaints myself. But first, if you bought any Wajong, whatever you want to say, oversized Headmasters, just so they could be more Voyager scale, the Voyager scale they scale with is more close to like the, it's the old style Voyager class. So that is the hardhead. So he totally dwarfs this Apeface to where it's just like, mommy, ah! He's going to run for cover instead of probably trying to fight this big bastard. So, I mean, but the other hardhead, the deluxe that came in actual Titan's Returns, is a little bit small. But you can say, hey, Autobots should be smaller anyway, most times they were in the old G1 cartoon. But these Headmasters, I mean, hardhead transforms into like a friggin' armored tank-like vehicle. He should be a big boy. But so scale-wise there, I'm like, are they going to have to redo all these Headmasters to make them scale with each other now? After getting all these Headmasters in Titan's Returns, I liked a ton of those guys. But we'll just have to see what they do. Also, looking at this figure, you can see where they will get a Snapdragon out of this mold. He's just there. He's right there. You can just see it. It's not something that they're going to have to fiddle with too much, I believe, to get a Snapdragon out of this mold. Now, some of the complaints I've seen is the cheap plastic. Now, yes, the white is like a creamy, white, milky plastic. It is very soft, very pliable. I would say, I guess it feels cheapish. Things do not tab in well. And I'll get to that in transformation. As you can see, I'll have to edit my transformation. I've already filmed it. It was like 26 minutes long of transforming this figure because my tabs do not stay. Anything that tabs into anything white here, they just don't right back out. They don't want to stay in there at all. Other thing, articulation on this guy, they sacrifice waist. There's no waist articulation on this guy. That's, I guess, just due for the transformation they have to do. But you're going to get all the other bells and whistles and articulation. There's no wrist swivels if you want to know that. But what you would get out of a Headmaster, he's got the shoulders and the hips and the knees, and he's got, ankle tilts and all that jazz. So he's going on good. He poses well. He's an intimidating looking bot. I do like him a lot. And that just rhymed. Wow. So, like I said, overall, very impressive bot. Paint on my copy is applied very well. I got a little bit, it's a little sloppy, I guess, around this purple thing. Which, in the old 1987 G1 line would be the door that you would open up to see his stats when you plop the Headmasters in. The battle damage on him is nicely applied. I do like the creamy white plastic, and it may look cheap to some people, but I like that it's different. It goes good with the purple and the black and this pinkish red color is going on here. But like I said, the biggest offender is going to be these leg pieces tabbing into here and this whole stuff going on. But we'll get to that in transformation. But overall, I do like it. And his gun will hold, of course, blast effects. It's got a little, little nozzle there, and just plug in this rungs blast effect, which I think looks kind of cool. We'll take that out. Height-wise, we'll compare him with Soundwave, and yeah, Laserbeak was on him. He's not there now. So. So he's a tad bit shorter than Soundwave. And also, other complaint, he's a little back heavy. So mine likes to lean. I do have seen have like loose knees. They just kind of not too stiff. So mine likes to kind of lean back a little bit. That's probably another complaint I have. But let's go ahead and get to the transformation of Apeface. Alright, so transforming. First thing we're going to do, remove the headmaster. And that's what I say. This one, he goes in tight. And I do fears of breaking that little head off. So we'll come back to Apeface. We're going to fold the hands inside the forearms. Like so. Turn it around to 180. Bring this piece off. It pegs in. This little piece here pegs right in there. Taps in there. Just bring this down. Bring this little hinge piece out and around like this. Then come around back 180. This stuff here taps into these wings. Right there in the back of this purple. And this is on a little pull joint. Which probably you don't have the, the waist swivel. That just pulls out the back. Same on the other side. Pull it out. Or tabs on the back of his forearms that will tap into the back of his shoulders. And so he's got a double elbow swivel. He can go one way, and then he goes another. Let's bring this up and all the way around. Tab it in. Do the same on the other side. Nailed it. Turn around to face the front. Take all this junk on the sides here and bring it down. Bring it down. Okay, after you do that, you want to push these back in. Push it back in. Come around to the back of his leg. Open this up. And I'll bring this out to the side of his leg. Fold his foot in. Fold that up. Take this, bring it out to the side. And fold his foot in. So we'll come here. There's these little tab indentions on his waist. This is all out to the side. This just comes off his main leg. There's this little hinge. There's this tab here that you'll get up into this. So just bring this all the way up. Line that up. Tab it in. Same on the other side. Bring it up and tab it in. Now don't worry if these come untabbed because mine pop off untabbing from there constantly. But there's something you can easily retab in towards the end of your actual transformation of the figure. So after you do that, you come around to these legs. You want to fold them in. There's these little tab underhooks here that will hook underneath this. We fold these over and you just want to get them to catch underneath this stuff here. Now come down and lock in on your legs. Like I said, don't worry, because this stuff here will constantly come untabbed. But once you get this all locked into place, now that I get his legs to stay tabbed in on the other side, it will work. So we got this right here. This piece here is tabbed underneath this little back piece. Bring his arms down. Bring this down. Then his gorilla arms come out from back here. And the hands are right inside of here. So in the back, pull it out. And pull it out. Now come around to the back legs. There are these little pieces here. Just pull this down. Fold his feet out. Pull this little white piece down, fold his foot out into this piece here, and you're just going to peg this blue peg into this slot here on his back. Simple enough. Leave this back this way. You can see there's this little tab here and a little slot here and a tab back here. I'll just tab right there. It doesn't really tab very well. It just sort of sits on it. Now with the neck connector, what I'm guessing is there's these grooves right in here. And you're going to have to bring all the way around and hook onto these two little tabs. Now I'm saying, with my copy not wanting to stay tabbed in very well at all, it's a challenge at times. Before I do that, I'm going to stick the head in. So you take it with a red band, opposite of his actual face, and it just slides right in. Voila! Very simple. Now hook this down around. Also, there's this little catch you can see right here. It will actually catch onto this. So if you can get that part here flush without untabbing your figure all around, you're going to be golden. There. And then this will follow through. There you go. And there is Gorilla Apeface, or there's Apeface. And it's alright. I mean, you can of course take his weapon, and there is a pegs up here that you can peg the gun on. Just the tabbing, it just doesn't like holding. These feet here just don't hold for nothing. But otherwise, it's not bad. And by looking at this figure, you can definitely see where they're going to get Snapdragon out of this mold. Look at the robot mode, this mode, and then you get like, well, Snapdragon, he's coming. You know he's coming. It's just in there. They're too similar to not be, done that way. So that is him in this mode, which is a decent mode. It's a decent beast mode. You've got some head articulation right here. It's hard because of this big neck piece, which I probably don't think I have it in all the way. There we go. That's better. I got a little bit more head articulation going on. Like I said, the snapping of stuff, pegging this is already out. It's just, yeah. His plastic seems very soft. I'll give it that. It's soft, so things just don't want to hold when you snap it. But otherwise, he's got articulation on his legs and stuff. He's a beefy little beast bot here. And if you, like I said, you had the other face, we can transform him real quick, and so you can see how that looked. And the Titans returns. All right, take that, and then we'll transform these guys into jets too. So jet mode is pretty simple from where you're going from this mode here. Now what you want to do is go ahead and pull this piece here up. Take this back section off. Now I have heard of people breaking this. I guess when they pull it up, the wings, then they kind of move on you. So just be gentle. Don't be rough with everything. Just sort of slightly work that out. There we go. Take his gun. You stick it back into the first peg hole here, facing the opposite way. His head out of the beast. He's already came untabbed, and all it did was, pull a few things off here. So it's not like the best tabs on this figure. That's probably my biggest negative. I'm wasting a lot of reviews talking about how I don't like the tabbing. Okay, fold his feet in. And fold his arms back under. See, he's all untabbed, and I haven't done much to it. I'm not gonna beating your ass or anything, dude. Just tab back in, man. Alright. Get his arms tab back in. Then you fold these other feet back up. Collapse on. Bring them down. Like so. Up. There are tabs here. You just hook this onto the side without untabbing everything else in the world. Same. See, stay the freak tabbed in, dude. Tab. See, he already popped out. All I'll do is turn you over. I'm free. My tabs are free. Now we're going to bring the wings around. Like so. There are these little grooves in here and these tabs underneath. When you hover over them, you'll push this down, and that will tab into that as well. Helps if I actually had it on camera when I did it. Over it and tab it. Then you're going to bring these back legs up. And there is a little notch here. When you bring these up, there's a spot on the black that will just catch it and just locks that into place. As best as it is going to lock that into place. It doesn't lock in very well. And also on the sides here, if these come undone, you see there's these little black tabs. You just gotta line it up on the purple pieces here, and it just tabs in right in there. 5 hours later, you're still transforming this fucker. Okay. Now you want to take this piece here, the gorilla head will come fold up inside to the cockpit underneath. like so. And there's these two pink tabs that are going to go in these holes. Let me tell you, this plastic here is very, very pliable. It will move. And my first time doing this, I thought I was going to break this thing, because you have to line them up and then push them in. So for extra support, if you want to hold the back of it, you know, the back of these white pieces, you know, just do like one side at a time and kind of push them into that instead of pushing that into them. Push these back part of the feet, I would say that, into the cockpit, not the cockpit into that. And that helps out with some of the stability on that, so you don't feel like you're just going to tear it to shreds. Now you can take your Apeface, and he can now sit inside the back cockpit. He's got lots of places to sit here, so we'll just pop him right on in. Close that up. And this piece here just goes back right originally where you had it. It just sits over this back piece, and he's not in there very well. I said, sit, boy, sit. Look here. This ain't a game, son. Said it ain't a game. Get your butt in there, Jobo. Okay. We'll just pretend he's in there the right way. Okay, we'll just pretend he's in there altogether. He's in. I'm not going to fiddle with it. I'm just going to pop that right on top, and there's the jet mode. And that way, this piece his head can be hanging around. And stupid feet. But yeah, here's your jet mode for your Apeface. It's a nice jet mode. I think I prefer the jet mode over the ape mode. But yeah, I think the robot mode is what's ultimately going to win out on this piece for me. And you take the other Titan Returns version, and you flip a few things, and you have a jet mode. And that face will slide on in. Overall, I mean, the colors are fine. I do like the colors. I know the creamy white plastic. I like the look of it. I don't actually hate it. It just feels soft and creamy. Just the tabs on the figure do not want to hold for me. Main defenders are these leg pieces staying tabbed into his torso area there, waist. But otherwise, I mean, he's fine. It's not ploppy. This mode is more solid than the ape mode. It's a good jet mode. I don't mind it at all. I've never had an Apeface, so I'm happy to have this Apeface. We'll just go ahead and get this into a mode and give you my final thoughts on the figure. Alright, so final thoughts on Apeface. Excellent looking figure. I'll just have to say the pros. He looks good. If you have the Titan Returns, you have more playability with him because you can change out the heads. And you have the little, the mini one you can use as like a drone to go with it for playability. Overall looks and colors of the figure I think are excellent. I know the white plastic is off-putting to some. To me, it's not, but it does feel cheap, and that leads into the cons where anything that taps into that white plastic, it does either want to hold or you feel like you might break the plastic. I think just be careful with this little shoulder jet piece here, because when you pull it out, the wings are pliable. They move, so don't yank it. Just ease it. Be gentle. Don't get too rough. Yeah, it is a kid's toy, but the Siege line is more aimed at adult collectors. This being a redo of a toy from the 80s, but kids can play with it. Just let your kids know not to treat it too roughly. That's what the Cyberverse toys are for. Overall looks of the figure, I do like the overall looks. I'm happy to have an Apeface in. Just the biggest cons are just the tabs. And then the biggest, if people who enjoy waist swivels. No, I honestly had this figure for 2 weeks and didn't realize he didn't have one until I started this review. But, he looks good, and he will pose well with your Decepticons. It's just, I'm not sure what they're going to do with the Earthrise coming up. If they're going to start adding in Snapdragon, because Snapdragon is so in this guy. It's just, all these headmasters you have now, from Titan Returns to this, they're so out of scale with each other. And I don't know how well scale means to some people, but I like scale. And so that kind of throws off my shelving display. I just have to justify it with that the Autobots are shorter. That's what I'm going to have to go with for right now. And I guess some of the Decepticon ones will be shorter too. But can't wait to see where they go with more of these figures. Very nice looking robot. happy to have an Apeface. Enjoy either head sculpt on this guy. I think I like this one because it's a little more cartoon accurate. But this one here, when it's on him, does look straight up sinister. And I think more evil. So, anyway, thanks for watching this review. And I hope to have more done this week as I am on the mend from my sickness. Till the next one. Peace out.